Hola, my friends. I hope that you are very well wherever you're listening to this from, whenever you're listening. I hope that you're having a wonderful day and that you're feeling great. So, we are speaking about self-worth and how self-worth is related to setting standards and boundaries. Now, off the top of your head, you might go, well, duh. But what I'd like to do today is just kind of break it down so it's really, really clear, because the knowledge is potential action, right? It's potential power, and then taking action is the power. So it's really important to just understand it because it's a game changer. Self-worth is the basis of everything. It's the basis of all achievement, of all fulfillment, of all success. Without self-worth, you get massively stuck and you can end up in very messy, very awful situations. Self-worth empowers you to really set standards for your life, set standards for the way you want to be with people, for the way you want people to be with you, and that empowers you to set the boundaries that you need in order to respect yourself and the people around you. So, what is self-worth? Self-worth is knowing that you are worthy of love. And that does not mean that then you go seeking that love from other people. It is the ability to bring that love to yourself. That's what self-love is, self-worth. You can think of self-worth as self-love, right? But it's not the little actions of self-love here and there. It is an overall attitude towards yourself where you are in relationship with yourself. Does it mean that you constantly like what you do? No. Part of self-worth is being able to look at your mistakes, at looking at where you went wrong and being able to be like, I messed up there and I need to own responsibility for that. That is also a part of self-worth. So, what is a standard? A standard is a must for how you want to live your life. So, for example, you can have standards around your health and fitness. So you might say, okay, my standard is that I eat kind of non-processed foods 80% of the time, and 20% I can eat whatever I want. Or maybe a standard for you is that you work out 3 times a week, or you work out 5 times a week, or whatever. So that's a standard. You can have standards for your relationships and friendships. So, for example, you might have a standard that you only engage in relationships and friendships where people are respectful towards each other, people are respectful towards you, and they're not based, on expectation, and they're not going to make you feel bad for saying no and stuff like that. So that's a standard. And then comes from your standards, you understand what boundaries you need to put in place. So your standards are your musts, and then you understand your boundaries. So if, for example, let me define boundaries first. So boundaries you can think of as a stop sign or as even like a protective bubble, right? So a boundary is how you protect yourself and your energy. You protect yourself from squandering your energy. And so, for example, if your standard for friendship is that you do not engage in friendships with people who are, is that you only engage in friendships with people who are respectful and loving, then your boundary is that you will not invest your energy into people who particularly nasty very often, or who can be very jealous and want to pull you down kind of thing. You will look for people who are also working on their self-worth, because ultimately self-worth is something that you work on. It's not something that you have or you don't, right? And you'll notice when people are actively working on their self-worth, and you'll notice when people aren't. People who actively work on their self-worth, they process their emotions. There is a level of dialogue that is happening between themselves and themselves, basically, and the world around them. There's a level of honesty. There's a level of owning responsibility, going after what they want, creating what they want, building it. With low self-worth, there is lack of self-belief. There is lack of self-love. There is a neglecting of the needs, of your own needs, whether those are physical or emotional or even financial. And as a result, what ends up happening is that a person with low self-worth doesn't value themselves as much. They don't go after what they want so much. They don't invest in themselves. And then they experience a lot of frustration, a lot of impatience, because they want the solutions, but they're looking for somebody else to solve the solutions for them. And then they can end up in very messy relationships because, they'll find somebody who will come in and want to solve it, but that person could end up being very dangerous. Or, people can end up in codependent relationships, which end up getting stagnant, getting messy, ending up with a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. And people can also, with low self-worth, end up experiencing a lot of jealousy towards the people who are working on their self-worth and are going after what they want and do have positive relationships. And the most, sort of one thing that I think is a real motivator to work on self-worth is acknowledging the fact that when you don't work on self-worth, you pass these patterns on to your kids. Whether you want to or not, you can fake it, but kids pick up on what is real and they repeat what is real, what they see, what they feel, what they learn. So that to me is a major motivator to constantly invest in myself and work on my self-worth. And that doesn't mean I never slip up. A couple of weeks ago, I came on Instagram and I was I'm struggling at the moment. I'm working all the time. I'm with Archie all the time. I have no space for myself. I was neglecting my needs. And so what did I do? Because I have self-worth, because I love myself enough, I had the conversation with Pete and I was like, Pete, I love you and I see you're working hard. And at the same time, I need us to work as a team better because I need to meet my needs more. And so we created a timetable together and I feel so much better. I don't feel angry anymore. So that is an example of, somebody working on their self-worth. It's not about a perfect state of being. It's not even about I think that I'm better than everyone else. That isn't self-worth. That's a lack of self-worth, overcompensating, right? It's just about being real with yourself, having enough love for yourself that you're willing to have difficult conversations, that you're willing to set standards, that you're willing to set boundaries, and that you're willing to say, hey, I matter. I matter as well. I don't matter more than you. I matter as well. We all matter. It's really a space of respect. So, how can you boost your self-worth, right? How can we all boost our self-worth? So first of all, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Do sessions, right? This is the number one best way to boost your self-worth. What happens in sessions is that you are in a safe space where you can unpack your experiences. And from unpacking your experiences, you identify the beliefs and stories that keep you stuck in this low self-worth cycle. And once you identify them, you can reframe them. You can give them new meaning. You can create new beliefs that empower you to let go of that bullshit and move forward. And as you move forward, you create a new story for yourself. You begin to build that self-worth. And it's absolutely beautiful. You know that we offer this service. It's called Lifestyle Strategy Sessions. We work with self-worth all the time. And our sessions are a combination of therapy, psychotherapy, and coaching, which is absolutely kick-ass. If you want more information about that, you can DM us on Instagram or email us at hello@alifeichoose.com. Next is, and this is where the coaching element comes in, you need to start going after, and by going after, I mean building what you really want in your life. So if you want a loving family, you need to start, understanding, how do I go about building this? What blocks do I have within me? How can I be around the kind of people I want to be around? So this is all stuff that you'd work on, in the coaching element of sessions. If your standard is with income, for example, and you don't want less than a certain income, you're going to ask yourself, how can I go about generating that income? And you're going to create a plan and you're going to take action. And the main message I want to say is you can't wait for self-worth and self-confidence to take action. You need to take action and the confidence will come, okay? So the self-worth comes even through the action taking, even through the making mistakes and processing and learning from them, okay? But you need to be doing. If you sit passively and you wait for someone to save you, you will never feel better. You will always feel jealous. You will always feel like shit. You need to take action towards the life that you want. You need to state what you want: a happy family, a loving family, a good income, a career that I freaking love, and go and learn from the people you need to learn from. Go and take action, and this will build your self-worth. Last tip, notice your needs, right? Do not ignore yourself. Notice your needs, even from the simple, stupid things like, sometimes women will not notice that they need to go to the bathroom and they'll hold their pee for ages. Like, no, go pee. Like, you know what I mean? From the basic physical needs to the bigger needs, like financial needs or like relationship needs or, whatever, acknowledge your needs. Go out and meet them. And if you can't meet them in this moment, create a plan to meet them, because you matter and you are important. You're no more important than other people, but you are important and you matter as well. Just like I do, just like my family does, just like everybody does. We all matter. So I wish you self-worth. I wish you lots and lots of love. On Thursday, we'll do a Q&A session on Instagram, and I can't wait to see you there to dialogue more about this. And I hope you found this helpful. Lots of love and